Should
post it
we have
from
our should we have our cameras on, or is it okay if we don't?
there. It's fine if you have it on or off, but definitely mostly be muted.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, I'm gonna bring Elva in. Then okay, so then here's the Zoom link or the YouTube link in the Zoom chat. So go ahead and post that to Discord and all that. That way everyone can access it. And then yeah, because if someone misses the live stuff, that's fine. They can just watch it. They can go to Discord and oh, that's right. I got to update on the schedule as well. Okay. Yeah, because then anyone can check on Discord or the schedule and then they can watch these videos. Okay. Hey Elva, how you doing? Sorry about that. We
No
trying
worries.
to set up the
Hi, Scotty.
last
How are you too? I'm doing
good.
well.
How are
I'm
you?
doing great. Yeah.
Man, you're at Wilson. I miss that place.
Can you
Okay.
hear me okay?
Yeah, we can
That's
hear you.
great.
Elva, real quick, are you gonna screen share anything? You don't need to, just
Not really. Not really.
okay. All right, sounds good.
That'll be a monologue.
Uh,
No, a conversation. Yes.
all right. So let me pull up the questions and then yeah, we will go into this interview. So yeah, thank you for joining us, Elva. It's been a pleasure working with you and know you over the past few months. For anyone who's joining us, Elva Yu is the NFT's product manager for the Duke Web3 conference. We'll let her talk about herself a little bit more, but just so you know who she is, I think the main thing is that for those of you who want to join the NFT airdrop, especially if you come to the conference at Duke campus, a lot of that stuff will be the result of her work. And she's also hosting an NFTs exhibition and moderating an NFTs panel. So aside from the professional stuff, I guess let's go ahead and jump in. Elva, why don't you tell us about yourself?
Totally. Like, really happy to be here and glad to share about my experiences and talk about NFT and Web3 in general. So my name is Elva. I went to Duke for undergrad, graduated as the first inaugural class, 2022. And I'm now continuing my study at Fuqua Business School. And this year I joined the Fuqua Blockchain Club, which I got exposed to the Web3 area, which I had some interest but didn't know like technologies, functions, and what applications going on, what's trendy. And help organizing the Web3 conference definitely familiarized myself with everything and also being able to like contribute um, in organizing the panel and also exhibition was really fun. And I can talk about the initiatives going on if y'all are interested, but I'll give the mic back to Scotty for specific questions first.
Yeah, actually, I think that'd be great. You might as well go ahead and tell them about it because the first question would be, how did you get started with Web3?
Totally happy to share. I think my journey in Web2 kind of started in a very specific token, which is NFT that y'all probably seen and heard a lot about, like controversial stuff about it. But it's been really fun. I grew up interested in art and designing. That's how I started like creating NFTs and also working with the basketball teams, especially in doing their merch of their like portrait and try to sell it on OpenSea. But that was like more individual design project. And I think that's my initial entry into Web3. And after joining the conference, I get to know more applications and work on like larger scale stuff. And like by interviewing NFT artists who has made impact and unlocked the have six-figure debts, and like just get their name out there in the arts industries. That's been really fascinating to know the skills of NFTs, the impact of it, and know like some interesting trading stories behind. Um, and I think I'm right now like knowing more about the Web3 sphere, but there are always new things coming out, so always more things to learn about and catch up with. Yeah, I think that's my brief intro of how I got into this space.
All right. Yeah, thank you for that. So you mentioned that you've been in art and all that. Who has inspired you in Web3? Not just in art, but just art, NFTs, Web3, just kind of the whole intersection. Who's inspired you?
What I feel about Web3, the space is that there's so much like an entrepreneurship, always creative, always coming up with something new, because this is a whole economic body. Like if any of you here econ major as what I did at DKU, we've been studying like 130-ish economy bodies in the world, like national currency, but this cryptocurrency, digital asset emerged as something that's above the national currency, that's decentralized, that's fully autonomous, that's transparent, that has new features that traditional currencies couldn't do, such as like more cross-border transaction, more decentralized peer-to-peer, like those features. Yeah, and that's been very inspiring for me. And seeing startups, for example, you could see those digital wallets like Coinbase, how they started. Their vision is of like utilizing cryptocurrency is to fuel the economic freedom, so that countries can develop more and faster in terms of economic growth, because they're like just the transaction volume goes big with the cryptocurrency, and that's been like really inspiring. And some like small startups, especially in NFT space, like the ones that we're collaborating with, they're printing the NFTs on customized hoodies, so you can further your ownership of NFTs. That's not just some assets like laying down in your like OpenSea collections, but something you can wear as a like bridge between physical world and NFT artwork. That was really inspiring too. Just see how like different startups, entrepreneurs, like corporates, like reforming the economy and also products applications are real life are really inspiring.
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. It's funny, the stuff you're talking about kind of reminds me. I tell people whether crypto works or not, no one actually knows right now, because we assume that metal coins and paper currency works, but 1,000 years ago there were actual kingdoms and empires that failed because they couldn't figure out paper currency. The transition from metal to paper, it didn't work very well all the time. So whether crypto works or not, I think a lot of it trial and error, and everyone will figure out what we want next. But yeah, I think what you said, makes a lot of sense. And then going along with the art stuff, everyone's trying to figure out how does that work. So, obviously for you, being able to talk about this, I'm sure you have some long-term goals. Maybe you can share some with us.
Yeah, definitely. As probably most people like here, I'm still in school, not having like started my full-time job yet, but having this experience actually kind of changed my mindset. Like basically every like successful like digital artist that I interviewed, like being artists who want to like grow their hobbies that's creative into a professional career. They told me the same thing: take the plunge, act on your feet. So I feel like in terms of career goals, I'm applying to more like hands-on creative stuff. That's because coming out of business school, like most people are doing like consulting finance that I was also applying for, but I think now I want to do more like hands-on experience, like product management and design, so that I think down the line I want to create a product or a design, like have the ownership of amazing creative stuff that could inspire people like how they inspired me before. But that's I know that's a big talk. That's for like down the line, but just some vision that I have.
Well, I think that's how it is with life, one step at a time. Uh, Not that I meant to say one step at a time, but my next question, actually the one I sent you word by word, how would you like to impact those following your footsteps?
As a like how to realize each step.
I guess as you create the NFT exhibition, as you give this talk, as you go into the working world and all that, people who start to learn from you and hopefully are inspired by you, what would you like to do? How would you like to impact them?
I feel like if you're like coming to the conference or look at the interview, like art education series that I'm gonna publish either Coursera or YouTube channels from Duke, that I like how I interviewed those entrepreneur startups, you possibly learn something from the conversation about how they started out their journey in Web3, how they use this new technology to achieve the impact, and what are some like mindset, discipline that you can learn from. I think like personally me talking to them like give me a lot of like soothes my anxiety a lot in not knowing what I'm gonna do as a fresh graduate and just gonna have like professional life unfolding in front of me. I think watching those videos later, if it will be there, you will get probably some inspiration and keep up with probably some news, new startups, trends that's going on, find opportunities. I think these are probably some main takes for the impact.
All right. Yeah, thank you for sharing that with us. I guess in the interest of time, we do want to keep these videos shorter so they're easier for people to catch up if they miss it. So I guess in this case, we probably won't take any questions from the audience. However, if anyone has questions, you're welcome to post them in our conference Discord, or if you check in the video description below, we will include some method of contact for Elva, probably her LinkedIn. And then if you have any questions, you're welcome to reach out to her. And otherwise, feel free to come back to this channel. We will have more sessions for our hackathon, usually on the hour. If you check our hackathon handbook and our schedule, you can see what time those sessions start. The next one is at 7 o'clock Eastern. That will be a workshop from the Blockchain Academy. So anyone who's interested in that, definitely feel free to come back, check our handbook, check our Discord, check our schedule. We'll update these links all the time. And hopefully you enjoy this interview with Elva. Hopefully you can come check out the NFT exhibition and the panel, and also get some NFT airdrops from her. Thank you, Elva.
Thanks for having me, Scotty. I'll see you guys later. Feel free to shoot me a message, LinkedIn, email. Yeah. And hope y'all have a great session. Go HACKATHON. Yeah.
All right.
See you next
Go Duke.
time.